you know, the West is so thick right now in terms of every team trying to position themselves for a better spot. And we're in that same boat. You know, we're trying to move up, and we're playing like it too. It's kind of nice to see how we played tonight. It's great to see.
What you said you've moved on, but do you think the guys? Did this have anything to do with you? Did the guys come out any extra motivated for you coming back to New York to
This
play?
is not about me.
Okay.
I mean, it really isn't. This is about the Clippers and the fine team that Doc has put together. And we're playing for something. I mean, you know, it's like I said, the West is so tight right now in terms of everybody jockeying for a position. And we're right in the middle of it. So, you know, we just got to continue to take it a game at a time and push each other to get better. That's what it's all about.
Mike, how critical is it at this stage of the game to
He's not feeling well, so he asked me to come out. I got to do what my boss tells me to do.
to rest your starters? This late in the season.
No, that was kind of nice tonight too. You know, we got Philly Friday and then the Celtics on Sunday, so games are coming very quickly as we come down the home stretch of this season. So it's important that we play well and perhaps can get guys some rest as we go along the way.
When did Doc tell you he was going to be sick?
No comment.
Coach, is this team defending as well as it needs to be going into the postseason, or is there still improvement to be made on that?
I think we still have some improvement. I mean, you can always get better on both sides of the basketball, and but as of late, we are playing pretty good basketball on both ends of the floor. I like the way we're playing.
One issue has been putting the opponent on the line a little too much. Where does that come from? How does that come about?
Well, I mean, again, our pace is so fast. On one end of the floor, and sometimes we get caught a little bit off balance, and we're reaching and grabbing a little bit. But, I like the way we're playing, though. I mean, I think when we have to get stops, we get them. We got to get key rebounds. Our bigs are right there banging and battling for rebounds, and offensively we're playing at a nice level in terms of how we race up and down the floor and shoot the three ball and get easy buckets. So I mean, that's a nice combination when you're trying to win basketball games.
Mike, when you're kind of the guy charged with that offense, the efficiency tonight, it seemed like it was open threes, open shots at the rim, pace. Was this kind of the full?
When you got a kid like Chris Paul who's kind of running Doc's operation, I mean, it's kind of nice to watch how he operates, and then everybody just kind of falls in line and plays their role. JJ has been shooting the hell out of the basketball, and Blake is just working himself back in where we need him to be, and so we just gotta stay patient, continue to work as a team, continue to push each other in the right direction, and see what happens.
You guys have some games coming up against some teams, that are like the Knicks that have had rough years. It seemed like early the starters made a point to be aggressive, Blake going for dunks and stuff like that. To kind of, do you view that as a statement thing to say, like, we're not looking past anything, or?
No, it's not making a statement. We're playing for something, and that's all that needs to be said. The Sixer team that we got coming up on Friday, they've struggled this year as a team, but you can't take any team lightly, and Doc is a big believer in that. You respect your opponent, and you come out and you compete.
Mike, was there a party that kind of felt bad for those guys at one point?
Well, I mean, again, I don't wish losing on anybody, guys. I mean, I've been on that end of the stick, and but again, this is behind me, man, and I'm moving on and happy to have an opportunity to work with Doc. That means a lot to me.
You're willing, and you've moved on. You get the sense that those guys in the locker room moved on, or were guys chirping with you a little bit and saying?
No, they weren't. Our team is not like that. I mean, you kind of out in left field when you say that. I mean, our team, they're professionals. They're serious about their approach to the game, and we got a lot of basketball ahead of us as a basketball team, and we got to treat it that way, I think.
How nice is it to be able to rest the starters the whole quarter at this point in the season? I mean,
No, it's important. I mean, that question was asked earlier. I mean, as we come down the stretch, it's going to be important that we come out and hopefully have games like this. All games are not going to be like this, but when you can have the opportunity to rest some of your guys, it helps.
Did you miss this part of the job?
Oh, I miss it. No, it's good to be back though, man. It really is.
Do you attribute that recent defensive improvement to anything in particular?
Well, I mean, again, guys, we defend as a group. Doc is a defensive coach. He's a wonderful offensive coach as well, and this team plays both sides of the basketball, and you're going to need that as you make that push into the playoffs, because that's the only way you're going to get to the finals. You got to defend on one end, and you got to share it on the other end offensively.
what are your kind of primary responsibilities with the coach?
I just coach.
I mean, by defense,
No,
offense?
I'm a coach. I don't. We got all these different angles about who's defensive guy and who's an offense. I'm a coach. I can coach both sides of the ball. That's how I look at it. Yeah. Okay, guys.